This next story is so crazy. We're going to have to bring in Fox News contributor Raymond Arroyo to explain this whole crappy story that he has for us. So what's the new job in San Francisco, Raymond?
Thanks a lot. I'm glad you bring me on for this, Jason. But this story is really unbelievable. There are over 7,500 homeless people on the streets of San Francisco. Well, they have now deployed what the San Francisco Chronicle is describing as a poop patrol. Their one mission, and they're getting paid $185,000 a person. Their one mission is to clean up poop on the streets.
How much money? How much money are they being paid?
$185,000 a person, Jason. All they do is pick up poop. Now, there's another patrol force, $700,000 they spend on them. All those four people do are pick up needles from the street. I mean, this is a breakdown. And I will put up on the screen, the full screen of the $72 million San Francisco is spending just to clean up its streets. This is what's called making a truce with illegality. There's no penalty for homelessness. They don't enforce the laws. And public urination is legal. Look at this, $12 million for homeless encampment housing, okay, just to clean it up. $2.8 million to wash down biohazard material, and $3.1 million for pit stop portable toilets. And Jason, just to give you some sense of what the poor people of San Francisco are going through, the San Francisco authorities receive 70 calls a day from complaints about individuals leaving human waste in public areas. This is a disgraceful situation in more ways than one. It really needs cleanup, both politically and otherwise.
No, I mean, it's sad when you've got a homeless situation. I don't want to minimize that at all, but to pay somebody $185,000 to clean up the human waste, that's unbelievable.
Right. You've got to enforce the law. Build another homeless shelter and teach people basic hygiene. But to just let this go on,
no, they're not solving the problems. Their liberal policies are not solving the problems. That's the issue. I want to get your reaction to another story. Steven Tyler, he was evidently a longtime acquaintance of the president. He's demanding that President Trump stop playing Aerosmith music at his rallies. What's happening here?
That's right. Well, they're acquaintances. Steven Tyler has worked for the president at Mar-a-Lago, at Trump Tower, at other events. He was just here in New Orleans, as a matter of fact, where I'm coming from tonight. Steven Tyler was at Jazz Fest. He was warm. He went out to people. He sang at bars in town. People loved him. But he's not showing the love to Donald Trump these days. He has sent 3 cease and desist letters to the president saying, we don't want to hear you playing Aerosmith's music anymore. Here he is to Joe Rogan. Listen to this.
He calls me up and I said, Donald, you can't use Dream On. That's for causes, not campaigns. And he did anyway. He did anyway. And I had to sue him. I got Dina to sue him. Send him a letter of cease and desist. So I've been through that.
You know, the curious thing here is, I mean, you can enforce copyright, and that's what Steven Tyler says he's doing, enforcing copyright. He says it's for good causes, not for politics. But I don't know how you can stop the public dissemination of music. If you're paying basic ASCAP fees, you should be able to play that music wherever you want, whether it's at a political rally or in a public park or a restaurant. So I don't quite know how this is going to shake out. But Steven Tyler keeps making a lot of noise about this, and the president seems to be telling him, dream on.
Yeah,
we'll see where this goes.
That's too bad. But finally, another story out of Hollywood. This one is off. This a new Muppets
profane.
Movie celebrating, I hear, murder. What in the world is that about?
Brian Hansen, who is Jim Henson's son, has created a new movie called The Happy Time Murders. It's not just about murder. It's an R-rated feature featuring puppets that look an awful lot like the Muppets you and I grew up with, okay? I can't even show you clips from this movie. I'll show you this little bit of the trailer. Just watch this.
Hey, handsome.
You looking for some rotten cotton?
I'm a woman. That's okay.
Yeah, that's even better.
Got a good time for you.
You know, remember Stadler, Walden and Stadler, the two, Waldorf and Stadler, the two Muppets that sat in the box seat of the old Muppet Show? They used to say, it's like a kind of torture to have to watch the show. That's how I feel about this Happy Time Murders movie coming up. There are sexual scenes. I mean, Muppets having intercourse is not something I want to even think about. But this movie is filled with this stuff. And you know, Jason, I sit back. Disney tried this last year when they rebooted a show called The Muppets. Muppets, and it was trying to restart the Muppet franchise, but it was also off-color, a little raunchy and randy. It didn't work. People rejected it. Why Brian Hansen now thinks a feature will work with filthy Muppets getting killed, slaughtered, and having sex, I don't know. It would be a little bit like the Disney daughters taking Mickey and Minnie and creating animated pornography with them. You don't do this. You're ruining childhood memories, and you're destroying a lovable, sweet family brand that you really could have a big future with, and I think running it into the gutter.
Listen, great stuff. Thanks for sharing it with us, but you're right. They're ruining the brand and destroying memories. Kids like me and some others that had fond memories of the Muppets, that's too bad.
I agree. Leave Fozzie Bear alone and let him have his clothes on, please.
Exactly.
At least the bow tie.